Cosmo on the chair, and Lewis is just out of frame. So you'll probably hear him. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, today is Saturday the 2nd. Can't believe it's November already. Like last week, it feels like that didn't even happen. It's been crazy around here, which is why I'm doing this day of in my pajamas. Um, but anyway, we're here to do a video. Last time you responded to my video about Dostoevsky and sort of when facts seem to come in the face of faith. It was a really thoughtful response, so thank you for that. I think you helped guide my thinking on that in some meaningful ways. So shout out to you. That was great. Awesome. Lewis is chewing on my headphones, so that's cool too. Anyway, and then you were talking about the Chris Stapleton song "Broken Halos," which was also very poignant and meaningful and great. I am similar to Crystal, I would say, in that I don't often find myself listening to country. I don't think I would hate it. I think some of the pop country stuff is a little grating, but classic country like Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, that kind of stuff is pretty good. But I really only find myself listening to Chris Stapleton. He's the only country guy that I go out of my way to listen to songs of. So I'm a big fan. I wasn't that familiar with Broken Halos though, so it was nice that you introduced me. I gotta show you what he's doing. He's just chewing on the headphones. Well, thanks for introducing me to that song and doing such a lovely explanation of the thought and meaning behind it. Yeah, very good. Okay, today I want to try my hand at sort of retelling a King Arthur Knights of the Round Table story that I'm only familiar with because I was looking for a story to tell today. Because last time you said I did a letter and a story, and that was cheating, and I'm like, nah, man, that was a letter with a little extra historical fun fact. That wasn't even really a story. This is a story. This has characters. This has themes. This has plot, as you will see. So this is the story of Sir Lancelot and the Sword Bridge. There's a lot of different versions of this because it's hundreds and hundreds of years old. But this is our version today, telling it to you three and whoever might join us online. So, the story of Sir Lancelot and the Sword Bridge really starts with Queen Guinevere. Now, Queen Guinevere was the wife of King Arthur. She was sort of the heart and soul of Camelot. Everyone loved her. Everyone respected her. She was so beautiful. She was amazing. And she, therefore, had a big target on her back for any enemies of the state. One such enemy was this evil sorcerer named Maleagant. And he just hated Camelot. He hated King Arthur. He hated Queen Guinevere. Yeah, that's how he felt about it all. And so one day he was able to have his minions kidnap Queen Guinevere. Yeah, it's shocking. I know. And Sir Lancelot heard about this, and he made an oath to himself that he would save her. He would go rescue her from the evil clutches of the Dark Lord of Gore. That's the land that Maleagant was the lord of. Gorre. Which I don't know if that etymologically is sort of where our term gore comes from. That'd be interesting. I don't know. I'm going to set you back down. So, he swears to himself that he is going to protect and save Queen Guinevere. Because, Oh, scandalous. He was in love with her. Da-da. He was in love with the queen's wife, or the king's wife. And he was the only one who knew it. And maybe Queen Guinevere knew it. Because, she saw his looks and stuff and like, he's looking at me, and I think he likes me. That might have been happening. But anyway, he starts off on his quest to track down Maleagant's evil castle where he's been keeping Queen Guinevere. And he doesn't get very far before some archers come out of nowhere and shoot his horse. His horse dies. Off to a bad start. And so he ends up having to ride in this cart all the way through the perilous forests and stuff. And that's where he sort of gains the moniker of the Knight of Carts, or the Cart Knight. Louis, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Come here and smell dog farts with me. It's stinky over here, I'm sorry. We got poopy diaper just changed, so that's a little less stinky, but we still got a farty dog. Farty dog. Where was I? He got his horse shot. He's not doing too great. He is having a hard time in this cart in the woods. Eventually, through the hardship of the dark forests of Gore, he finds his way to the castle, but he finds himself on the other side of a river, like one of those deep rivers, kind of like a moat, but it's just a river that's in front of the castle. And this is the river Stygian, who I think is inspired from Greek mythology, but even in this instance, it's a river known to steal your memories if you fall in, and you won't even remember your name. It's very thorough in its theft of your memories. But that's not even the worst of it. The worst part is there is a bridge, but the bridge is a giant sword. One gigantic piece of metal, razor sharp on its edge, so that you would have to walk across the edge in order to get there. And he's like, what the heck? How do I even do this? And he's like, well, I swore that I would do this. I have honor and duty and loyalty on the line. And even if it comes at the cost of slicing myself up on this sword, I'm going to do my best. I don't know why he's so loud right now. I'm so sorry. Let's get you over. Okay. Is that better? Get to the good part. How about I just hold you? So, he decides to take off all his armor because he doesn't want to be weighed down on the sword bridge. And he starts working his way across, painful step after painful step, cutting up his feet, leaving a trail of blood. And by sheer willpower and commitment, he makes it across to the castle. And this castle is just dark. It seems like instead of reflecting light, the stones of this castle are absorbing the light and making it so filled with shadow. And he's like, man, I'm in a bad way. I got my feet cut up. I can't even barely see anything. I'm going to go in here and try to find Queen Guinevere, but I don't even know where she is. And he gets inside, and he sees sort of a corridor off to a main room, and he's like, well, this seems good as any. And he gets there, and Maleagant, in his arrogance, never thought that Sir Lancelot would be able to push through this test of his spirit. He really created this sword bridge to be sort of like a intimidation, like, you can't get past this, you can't actually follow through on your commitments to save this woman that I've stolen. try to wrap this up quick. He's being too noisy. Anyway, he finds Queen Guinevere, and she's okay but distraught after having been kidnapped and just imprisoned for a while. And somehow Maleagant is like, Lancelot made it through, so he comes in and starts fighting. And he's fighting because he wants the power and he has the hatred that's fueling him. But Lancelot is fighting for honor and love and loyalty and duty, and that is what wins him the day. He's able to cut off Maleagant's arm in a swift maneuver, and then Maleagant's pretty much like, what? I'm so sorry. And then he cuts off Maleagant's head, and Maleagant's dead. And it seems like his life spirit was what was keeping the castle together. So it starts crumbling around him, and Lancelot is all gallant and scoops up Guinevere and saves her, and they go off and go back to Camelot and end up surviving and being happy and reuniting with their loved ones. And that gets us to, what's the point? What's the moral of this story? And the way I see it is that I think of this quote I saw from some guy on YouTube Shorts. He was talking about how he's been having a long work week and his friend or something needed his help moving. So just like at 4 a.m. he has to wake up and drive across the state and all this stuff. And he's like, sometimes being reliable to the people in your life is worth the price tag of suck. And that stuck with me. Some things are going to really suck, but you have to pay that price if you want to be known as someone people can count on. Particularly the ones that you've made that commitment to, like your wife, your family, your loved ones, your friends. And so, for Lancelot, his price tag of suck was slicing up his feet and fighting an evil sorcerer and having to be sort of humiliated by saving his queen by riding in the back of a cart instead of on his fancy horse. But that's what it took to follow through on his word and to maintain his commitment to loyalty and love and bravery and a lot of the things that we talk about here on the Modern Quest. So I thought it was a very fitting tale, and I would encourage you to consider, what are your sword bridges? What are your price tags of suck that maybe you're avoiding? For me, sometimes for one, I've got dishes that I've been putting off for a while, and that's something I have committed to in order to take something off of Hannah's plate, and I need to cross that bridge probably right after this instead of putting it off for another day. So that's something that comes to mind for me. The price tag of suck of just doing more chores around the house for your wife. It's a good thing, though. It shows love and commitment. Another price tag of suck, or sword bridge if we're trying to be more artistic about it. I don't know. I mean, I'm working on like almost 4 jobs right now, so I'm a little worn out trying to provide for all these creatures that have populated our house. But it's worth it. It's worth that price tag. It's worth crossing that bridge in order to provide, and in order to be reliable, and in order to be someone people can trust and count on. And it is worth that price tag many times over. And that's my encouragement for you today. Okay, we gotta go. Bye.